You think you're having a bad week? Probably not as bad as Josh McDaniels. As you probably know, McDaniels was fired last week in his second failed tenure as an NFL head coach. Afterward, the Raiders proceeded to demolish the New York Giants 30-6, and the team proceeded to smoke cigars in the locker room, celebrating not just the win, but also the termination of the former Patriots offensive coordinator. But the story gets even crazier. Yes, we know the players weren't happy being coached by McDaniels, but it was Josh McDaniels himself who sparked the rallying cry that ultimately led to his demise in Las Vegas. In an attempt to pull the team together, McDaniels made the unfortunate error of holding a team meeting, allowing players to air their grievances directly to the coaching staff. It was meant to be a, let me hear how we can improve things around here type of meeting. But when you tell people to be open and honest in any workplace, telling them nothing leaves this room, things are bound to get spicy and leave the room. According to Fox's Jay Glazer, who probably has more sources than anyone in the NFL, the players unloaded on McDaniels, airing their frustrations directly at him. Linebackers coach Antonio Pierce had to step in and speak for McDaniels, and he actually did a decent job at rallying the team. He talked about how as a player, his New York Giants were able to come together and, despite the odds, defeat the undefeated New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. Moral of the story being the Raiders needed to have a similar mindset. The players loved it, but you know who didn't? Josh McDaniels. After the meeting, McDaniels pulled Pierce aside, telling him, "Don't ever talk about the Patriots like that again." And now Antonio Pierce is the interim head coach, with the entire roster rallying behind him. Mark Davis heard about the dysfunctional meeting and the way McDaniels reacted when the players finally bought in, and promptly fired him. Now, I don't believe Pierce was gunning for McDaniels' job. He told a great story and fired the team up. Little did he know he had McDaniels on the ropes, who was too thin-skinned to contain his emotions after taking a verbal shellacking from his players. Not a very good look. That being said, as a New England Patriots fan, we'll gladly take you back. We'll take anything at this point. You stuck up for us when Antonio Pierce mentioned the most embarrassing moment for our franchise. Scratch that. The second most embarrassing moment, only to losing to the tanking Washington Commanders the other day to drop to 2-7. McDaniels stuck up for the Patriots, showing he cared more about us than the actual team he was coaching. That's some dedication right there. Now, McDaniels may be going through a rough week, but he can cry his way to the bank since he still has 4+ years on his highly lucrative contract guaranteed. He may be inclined to just retire to West Palm Beach for his remaining days, but we need you, Josh. We all think back fondly on Mac Jones' first season when he nearly won Rookie of the Year and led the rebuilding Patriots to a surprise playoff appearance with the constant support of McDaniels. Even brighter days were ahead. But then you had to leave for Las Vegas, and Mac Jones was stuck with Matt Patricia calling plays, and now he's throwing deep shots to Jalen Reagor and catching all the blame when the ball hits him directly in the hands. Mac should be in his second MVP season by now, Josh. This is your fault. But I forgive you. We all forgive you. Frankly, Patriots fans are the only ones who still think you're a good coach. Help us, Josh McDaniels. You're our only hope.